Cancer, your February 2025 forecast on the screen now is your event chart right at the start of the month. Now, your ruler, the moon, very close to the strict energies of Saturn as we go into this month. In the part of your situation to do with higher knowledge, travel, contracts, and potentially where we want to expand or liberate ourselves. So with Saturn there, maybe you're going to feel somewhat constrained, or will you? Because if we look at Venus and its conjunction with the North Node, but also with Neptune right at the start of the month too, that suggests you can expand your situation. There is going to be an opportunity, but you need to be really sure that it's right for you. There may be some constraints, there may be some hoops you do need to jump through, but there's still an opportunity. But also you can see the collective in the sign of Aquarius, which is house 8, very much to do with deep transformations. In a more practical context, can be about business, particularly with Mercury in the mix. Mercury's connecting to the Sun, and they're going to come into a conjunction on the 9th, a cazimi. If you are someone who's trying to do something more enterprising, that's a very special set of influences. So Pluto's pushing you to evolve and change, but the way you do it is going to require perhaps a new knowledge, perhaps talking to people, sharing your ideas, perhaps even some travel, maybe some marketing, and that's the energy that's emerging in the sign of Pisces. And as I say, it's all about Saturn. Saturn's asking you to make sure that you're scrutinizing what you're about to say or share in a way which is going to be beneficial for you. But on the 4th, Venus, the planet of relating, but critically of money, rises to the top of your chart. Now, you can be a very effective communicator because you listen to atmospheres. So that helps you to lean in to situations based on your instincts. But it's possible that your connections, particularly with someone influential, may make it a case of who as much as what you know. Also, in terms of your romantic situation, if it is all going swimmingly, this could be an opportunity to take that next step towards a greater and more invested commitment. But also Jupiter, the planet of growth, which has been retracing its steps for 4 months, ends its retrograde on the 4th too. Now, Jupiter is tucked up in your 12th house, so it's been asking you since late May last year to expand your spiritual understanding of situations, but it does start this month still in a broad square with Saturn, and of course they did reach a peak on the 24th of December last year and through the first half of January this year. So it's possible that if there is something that you're discussing and it has got some kind of legalistic dimension, that could in some ways leave you feeling a bit bereft, a little bit concerned, despite the fact that Jupiter does start to go forwards. The full moon that we have across the 12th in terms of your 2nd and 8th house axis, the 2nd house is where the moon is really very much to do with balancing the books. It's just that Uranus intersects both positions of the sun and the moon, suggesting that maybe you don't want to balance the books. You could still feel much more impulsive when it comes to splashing out. That said, Mercury, the planet of communication, moves from that part of your chart that's to do with the deep understanding, whether it is psychological research or it is actually doing some market research, but that moves from Aquarius at the middle of the month and into Pisces. So that plan to widen your mode of being can certainly be given a boost by that, and even more so from the 18th when the Sun moves to Pisces as well. Now, of course, that shares your water triplicity. So that desire at the start of the month to be a little bit more experimental, perhaps to think about where you might travel. You may even have booked something earlier in the month, but in the latter part of this month, there is the chance to actually make that happen, particularly from the 24th, when Mars in your sign ends it's retrograde. Since the 6th of January, Mars' retrograde in your sign has seen it go from 0 degrees Leo all the way back to 17 degrees in your sign. So it's in 13 degrees. But it does actually forge a terrific link with Mercury across the 22nd to the 25th of this month. And you could find yourself really seizing centre stage and being very much a leader, particularly if it is some kind of travel or higher educational opportunity. So you can find yourself being a lot more dynamic, not because you're not trying to be dynamic earlier in the month, but the planets just conspire to ease things for you towards the end of February, and by the 28th with the new moon, which does link up to Jupiter, that chance to really do something that's very exciting is really going to present itself. Your motivation can be very high. You could find yourself listening to your instincts within this. Not that that's particularly new. That's the big part of your nature that's so strong, as I mentioned before. But that part of you is amplified by the energy of Jupiter as the month comes to a close. So the Sun squares with Jupiter, that's very much part of that last day new moon in the sign of Pisces. So whether it is about doing something more spontaneous, breaking down your life away from more set routines, deciding to get in touch with someone you haven't seen for a while, perhaps even book some kind of weekend away or a longer vacation. Or if you have always thought that you've got more learning that you want to do, or you've got skills and talents you want to share with someone else, a great opportunity to think about publishing. If you love writing, or there's something you'd like to journal through a blog, all of those opportunities can be amplified as this month draws to a close. Have a great February, Cancer, and if you've yet to watch your year 2025 deep dive video forecast, please see the link beneath this video. Discover your personal natal horoscope for absolutely free, including the big three of the ascendant, sun and the moon, and the houses they're located in, as well as all the other planetary positions, by downloading your chart by clicking the link underneath this video. Or you can take advantage of my special star choice range, where you buy one horoscope and get the second horoscope free. Please see below for more for that too.